Here.
Carrie Armstrong. Here. John Burke. Brady Fight.
Here.
Diane Page.
Here.
Jeff Powell.
Here.
Eric Stone.
Here.
Kelly Tolliver.
Here, thank you. Do I have a motion to consider to waive the reading and just approve the minutes from August 11th and July 21st?
So moved. Second.
Move to seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I don't think we have any public participation, and I don't think we have any presentations tonight. Do we have any board concerns? Okay, not hearing any, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Are there any items in the consent agenda you would like to vote on separately? Okay, not hearing anything, we're going to vote on that as a whole. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved. Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion of any of the items before we vote? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, Patty, we'll move to finance and purchase, and you can group, A through G. You don't have to read all those, and then we can move on.
I'm going to move to group A through G, approval of authorization to pay bills, general fund, finance, payroll, check register, athletics for 2025, cafeteria, finance, activities, first report for July 2025, first program report, July 25, elementary activity report, and elementary vehicle report. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Cafeteria report?
James, you do that tonight?
Sorry.
I did see Stacy this morning, and they had worked hard to prepare breakfast for everybody, so.
So moving forward with that, next one is a consideration to approve K-12 student lunch prices by 10 cents beginning 2025, 2026 school year. Paid lunch price would be $2.85 per lunch. All students will eat breakfast for free again in 25-26 school year. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item J, consideration to approve opening a separate banking account with Pennsylvania School District Liquid Asset Fund for the 2025 bond. This account will earn the same interest rate as our current liquid fund account and creates a clean way to track how the bond is being spent. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Consideration to approve awarding Howe Excavating LLC to the contract to renovate the football field at a cost of $122,816.00. So moved.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
We do have Amos Rudolph here. If there's any questions about the field or track 88 parking, Amos was kind enough to come down and be able to answer anything we may have at this time.
James, anything to say?
No, I contacted, as far as the football field, I'm a little concerned with the difference in the bids. I touched base with Kyle, reviewed, went through the scope of work, reviewed everything with him. We talked about, basically went down through the project, make sure they had the rock construction entrance, make sure they had all the ENS controls. There's some electrical work that needs done. They're using Clark Electric, who was here. They're the only electricity here at pre-bid. So we just, they're up to speed and we're comfortable with them. It's essentially an earth moving project. I kind of filled them in and let them know that they had roughly 1,400 cubic yards of fill to be brought in, which is pretty close to what the engineers had determined they need. Made them aware
are they prepared to start, did you say in 2 or 3 weeks?
They are supposed to get back to me with the schedule. But it sounded like, I think our start date was the 25th or something like that. By the time we would get contracts and stuff like that together, that's not gonna happen, but it sounded like they'd be able to start, mid-September. And then we'll figure 2 to 3 weeks to do the work, is what I was being told when I discussed that.
I know that as long as you went over everything and there's no law, I missed this X amount on the bid, because obviously there's a big discrepancy in,
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So as long as you went over with them and that they're comfortable and they know what's going to work, we don't get hit with $100,000 of extras. Obviously, there's going to be some unforeseens. I know.
Yeah, there might be
That
some
happens.
unforeseen drainage in the
Yeah.
field. I did go out and dig some test holes, just to make sure, James and I went out there, we did some digging, just to make sure that in, the depth of the existing topsoil and what condition it was in, just to let all the contractors know. I sent out an addendum with all those depths, an average, it was averaged about 8 inches, and it was all nice clean, topsoil. So I sent an addendum out, prior to the bid opening, turning in the bids, and, sent them some photos, and the location where we did all the test borings and stuff, so, yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to get a, performance and payment bond, and, we'll be down, and I kind of let them know what we expected from them. So, there's a chance we might find a few unforeseen things, but.
That would matter on who
But-
did it,
Yeah, but, it sounded like they had everything covered when I discussed it, so.
All right, thank you.
Do we have anything written in these that if they're not on our timeline, that they,
We do not have any liquidated damages. No, we did not put any liquidated damages.
is that something we should look at? Because,
It'd be a little bit late to do that, typically I do that when bidding. I generally, we gave more than ample time, in the specifications for this project. Quite frankly, we put liquidated damages, the cost generally increase. They have, per the specifications, they've got more than enough time to get this done. I did, let them know that, we're gonna want to schedule from them, and we expect them, I reiterated it. Once they get started, we don't want to pull off the site, we expect them to stay and complete the project. Make sure that once they were here, we all their equipment in, they were gonna be here.
Amos, for any of the projects that we're voting on tonight, do we need to look at hiring a third-party inspector to make sure the work's completed?
That would be up to you. I mean, well, I'll be around. It's not that far from the office, so once they start moving that dirt, I intend on, stopping by on the way home from work or, checking on things. So, that would be totally up to you guys. I mean, it's a 2 or 3 week process, so if they get started and someone will be around here, if anyone sees anything, I'm just a phone call away, and I'll bounce down, and then I'll check on the progress of the work through the construction. And I'll make sure on that, when once they start regrading, what's up, so down, I'll make sure I stop by, take some photos, if I need to call the civil engineers, I'll have face with them, like we have around here. But we'll be around, and we'll check on that one, especially just because of the difference in costs and such.
any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item L, consideration to approve awarding ATT Sports the contract to mill and resurface the track and add a new blue base color at a cost of $504,140. So moved.
Any discussion?
This is the price on doing the spots, right? Kind of the more standard.
Yeah, that's correct. This was the original bid, milling and paving only the cracks with a fill of roughly 170 cubic yard of heavy-duty asphalt with a 2-inch surface around there, and it will be covered.
Okay.
And Amos and I did speak to the AT&T Sports, and they said that they do about 200 tracks a year, and they only do about 1% where they mill and pave the entire track. And generally, that's reconfiguring the track, or if it was, uneven left to right. Generally speaking, this is what they do for most of their tracks.
So in that cost, we included, they've included a specific quantity of patch and repair, 170 square yards, I think it was, which is a pretty significant amount. So what they'll do, they'll roll that down, any of those cracks, bad spots, they're gonna mill out and replace with a new base. And then they'll get a total new topping. We feel confident that might be one of those things where they say, well, once we open this up, we need another 20 yards or that might be something that they follow up, but we're very confident we should be in pretty good shape with that. That's like, it's only about 1% or so, I think, is what they said that they get clear out of asphalt. And we did go back and we added the cost of that for the blue, there was an additional charge for the blue color.
So the whole truck was blue instead of black then?
That's correct.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries.
Item N, consideration to approve awarding Grossman Construction the contract to add ADA parking at a cost of $64,686. So moved.
Any discussion?
And Ms., can you just talk a little bit about the locations of where those parking spots will be and a little bit about that project as well?
Yeah. So we're replacing, right now, the current entrance into the high school, to the main office, we're gonna tear the sidewalk back to the canopy. It's gonna get a new sidewalk with a gradual slope down. And just to the left of where that sidewalk goes in, we'll have the 2 ADA parking spaces. And we're gonna put a new sidewalk along the front of the building out towards the track. So that'll get a new sidewalk to the track, the new ADA parking, some light bollards, and the new concrete. We're gonna go, I think, 10 feet or so to the right. There's some concrete that's bad out front. So we were tearing back to the nearest joint where the concrete was bad. So that'll get a new concrete at the curb, and then a new sidewalk against the building, out towards the track.
What's the estimated start date on that?
They actually wanted to start tomorrow. It'll be very soon.
Okay.
We have the contracts typed up. We just need the approval, so, I think they were talking about making the PA one call. I don't know if they made the PA one call yet in the market. They were talking about doing it last week, but they may have held off. But I was suspecting that they're gonna start at.
What time will be?
I would think so, yeah. They'll have to get the PA one call.
Yeah.
And then wait in 3 days or whatever,
Yeah.
for the PA one call. But, we have the draft contracts typed up, so once we get the draft contracts done, we'll get it out to them. And all these jobs are bonded, so we'll, they'll have to get the bonding back to us. As soon as, he gets approved, we'll let him know tomorrow and send those draft contracts out and have them get to us on the schedule. I would think that's draft.
We didn't have any issues with the start of school?
I was gonna say, how's that impact?
Now, everybody's aware of the projects we'll be going on. We'll be working with Courtney Transportation or reroute the buses where needed to be up there. And we've been talking with Dr. Jordan, who's well aware of the project, so we'll just work around it.
And they're gonna fence that, we voted because they want to fence or something up around that area while they're working.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Item N, consideration to approve a donation from Scrubgrass Presbyterian Church in the amount of $500 for the student lunch accounts as attached. So
Move to second. Any discussion? They've done this before, and we greatly appreciate them doing that for our students. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. All right, Carrie, do you want to do personnel for us?
Letter A, consideration to approve the request from employee number 20 to utilize sick days concurrent with family medical leave as needed. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter B, consideration to approve accepting the letter of resignation from Aaron Stoddard effective August 15th, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter C, consideration to approve accepting the letter of resignation from Crystal Moeller dated July 22nd, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter D, consideration to approve transferring Leanne Concho from nurse technician to certified school nurse at a bachelor's step 1. So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter E, consideration to approve hiring Lucas Lovely for the 7th through 12th grade social studies teacher at Westview, pending appropriate paperwork at a bachelor's step 1 with future salary increases to be negotiated with the ACV. This position is approved as 183 days, beginning Monday through Thursday, for a school year dating from August 1st of each year to the following June 30th. This position is hired contingent upon the continued need and operation of Westview. This position shall further be contingent on the individual executing a consent acknowledgement to individual executing a consent and acknowledgement, I think it was covering that, sorry, to a future decrease in salary in the event the individual's employment changes to a position with lesser pay. All of the terms of the agreement between the ACV School District and the ACVEA, effective July 1st, 2023, shall apply to the position. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter F, consideration to approve advertising for a long-term 7 through 12 social studies teacher. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Do we have somebody filling in now?
Yes, we do have a certified social studies sub going in right now.
So they may be interested in
Yep.
staying.
Yep.
Good. Okay. Any other questions? All those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter G, consideration to approve hiring Jamie Preston upon receipt of all appropriate documentation as a varsity assistant baseball coach at a supplemental salary of $1,427. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter H, consideration to approve hiring Kelsey Cripple as a full-time child-specific aide at the beginning of the 2025-26 school year under the current contract rate of $13.66. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter I, consideration to approve hiring Madison Rose as a full-time child-specific aide at the beginning of the 2025-26 school year under the current contract rate of $13.66. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter J, consideration to approve hiring Jessica Bell as a full-time child-specific aide at the beginning of the 2025-26 school year under the current contract rate of $13.66. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter K, consideration to approve hiring Dean Kinney upon receipt of all appropriate documentation as the girls' head golf coach at a supplemental salary of $885. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter L, consideration to approve accepting the letter of resignation from Aaron Morrison effective September 12th, 2025. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? We're gonna miss you, Aaron. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter M, consideration to approve the request from Kristen Hurlbring to be approved as the senior high student council advisor at a supplemental salary of $1,170. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter N, consideration to approve the request from Ally Atwood to be approved as the junior high student council advisor at a supplemental salary of $761. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
Letter O, consideration to approve the following seniors' number of hours and cost share per student with regard to the AmeriCorps program for the 2025-26 school year as follows. Paid using Title IV funds. Colton Elliott, Evan Jenkins, Emma Rashford, Maddie Behart, Blake Moon, Abe Fox, Caitlin Wolf. So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Just an update, Caitlin's just going to be an alternative. She won't be working unless somebody does drop out of the program. Mrs. Ray Buck shared that information with us today.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, we'll move on to instructional services. Cliff, will you lead that?
Second.
Did we
last week. We
Last
did
month?
last month.
Okay, thank you. I couldn't remember if we talked about it last week on the agenda or not, or workshop or not. Thank you, sorry.
Can I have the elementary board, please?
Sure. So one of the things that I had on my list for this week was to talk about those AmeriCorps workers that you just approved. There was kind of some back and forth about whether or not we'd be having that program. And Mrs. Raybuck just let us know last week that those students would be coming. So we're very pleased to have those high school kids coming back. We love that program. Our teachers appreciate having the help. And I think the students from the high school who come down get a lot out of those experiences as well. So today, Mrs. Rice and I sat down and matched those 6 students who are coming up with 6 teachers who will be sponsoring them. And we were able to put at least one AmeriCorps student in each of our communities in the building, so that's great. Other than that, we've mostly just been getting ready for the back to school, and I can't even believe that we have one day under our belt. We appreciate Kelly coming this morning to do a welcome with us. We had the teachers back on campus today. It was a successful day 1. Even the meeting with Kristen and I went pretty well. We got some good feedback on that. And we're looking forward to welcoming students on Wednesday. I want to also thank Logan Green and the ACV Marching Band for their performance this morning. That was something new that we hadn't done before, and it was fantastic. I think those of us that were there would agree. It was a very spirited way to start the year off, and I think that should become a tradition that we do that every year. And the other thing, last Thursday, August 14th, we held kindergarten orientation here. It was well attended by our kindergarten students and their families. Dr. McDivitt and myself were there to welcome them, and then they were given information from Mrs. Daly on health items. Mrs. Redding spoke about the cafeteria. I reviewed federal programs on behalf of Kristen, and before we sent them and their families to meet their teachers and see their classrooms, they were also able to go out and have a tour of a bus. Jamie Cook provided bus 6 for the evening, and we're very appreciative of that. The students were able to learn how to be good bus riders and see what it's like to sit in a bus. So that does help with those first aid jitters when they have to get on the bus. The students also got their lanyard tags so that when they show up here on Wednesday, all hands will be on deck at either door to welcome our kindergartners and look at their tags and get them where they need to go. It's always an exciting part of the school year. And that's pretty much it. We're ready to go on Wednesday.
Thank you. Secondary report, please.
Good evening, everybody. My report is going to be very short and brief, so that's probably the most exciting part. Right, Jeff? So at your seats, I placed a new high school student handbook, your own copy. Feel free to go look through that. You know, the 2 notable changes were the cell phone policy that we discussed last month, and also the AI piece as far as using AI in the high school. I plan on having a meeting with my teachers tomorrow to discuss a lot of the changes that we've made, which aren't a lot, but some significant changes to the way we do things, and AI is going to be one of the hot topics, I'm sure. Also at your seat, I placed the information for my flexible online instruction plan for severe weather. And I didn't have that last month for you, and I apologize for that. When I looked at creating a plan for the high school, being that it is significantly different than at the elementary as far as how things are done, I reached out to my principal colleagues in other districts locally and some of my teacher friends across the state just to get some feedback on how they do things. And so I kind of outlined a little bit what that looks like through the goals, of course, and the instructional framework. So, of course, we want to maintain instructional continuity. So I wanted it to look as close to what a normal day looks like in the high school. We want to ensure access for all students, so that means considering students that don't have internet access at home. So we have to gather that information yet and try to provide and support those students before we even have a day like that. Also, just provide support and structure for any student that might struggle with online learning, because it is quite different. The instructional framework basically outlines what the daily expectations for learning on that type of platform. So if you look there, the learning time, approximately 4 to 5 hours of academic engagement per day. And that's typical to what, students have now. You take out the study halls, you take out lunch, you take out some of those other things, and basically they have 5 hours of instruction a day in the classroom. The format would be synchronous, which means if they are in class, math class, say Algebra 1 at 9 o'clock, then when we have a severe weather-related closure, 9 o'clock they'll be in algebra class. So it goes right along with their regular schedule. They would log on and the teacher would be there. I did put in a piece for assignment submission, but that should have an asterisk beside it because there are some students with special learning plans that would affect that. But otherwise, students would be required to submit some kind of activity related document within 24 hours to get credit for the class for that day. And finally, we just do everything on Google, and that's the platform we use. This document goes through and it outlines the responsibilities for every single one of us, from administrators, teachers, students, and parents are on there as well. And really, it's just to try to, give everybody an idea of what they can do to make this successful. I really wish that way back in the COVID day, we had something similar to this, because a lot of people just didn't know what to expect and what to do. And we had some teachers teaching the whole 42 minutes. We had other teachers that were just assigning things, subject-wise to get through. And I think COVID changed everything in this world, and especially education. So this is kind of a response to that, because it's still our obligation to educate kids, even if we have, weather-related closure. So I will be cutting some of this out and putting it on our website for parents and for the students so that they are aware of their piece specifically. And I will be going over this tomorrow with my teachers as well. The next topic is regarding state mandated testing results from the spring of the year. We did receive those results, and I will put something together for the board to inform you next month as to what that looks like. I think the district's still sitting in a very good place. Our scores, they're still decent. They look good. And I'll show you the positives and point out a couple of the negatives and kind of have some idea of where we need to go from here. Other than that, the high school is ready to go. It looks beautiful, thanks to our custodial staff. And we had 7th grade new student orientation tonight, and it's good to have kids in the building. That's my report.
Thank you. Athletic report, please.
For tonight's athletic report, we're going to focus on fall sports. Obviously, they're in full swing right now. Football successfully completed their heat acclimation at West Bend Clarion for the first week of camp. They've been practicing every night, as has volleyball. They have a scrimmage this weekend, or they had a scrimmage past weekend at Lakeview. And their first game will be this Friday at Auto Elgin at 7 o'clock. So they have a long haul right off the bat. Varsity volleyball is also in full swing. They scrimmaged last week at Keystone at 10 o'clock. And their first event is this Saturday. They're hosting their own tournament like they do every year. And varsity boys golf, I think tonight they're participating in their 4th match already this year. And the girls have got 2 matches in, and I think they have 2 scheduled for this week. And so they're moving forward also. So, busy time for everybody. Everybody's jumping around, getting their sports in, so yeah. But everything seems to be moving successfully. We have all our paperwork filed and ready to go, and everything's squared away and we can move forward with fall sports. Any questions?
What's total rough idea on total amount of athletes?
Total amount of athletes?
Just offhand.
I can get you that information.
Oh,
If I had to throw a number, it's probably pushing close to 100. I would say. With cheerleading, and then if you count band, we have 65, 72 kids in the band, somewhere around there. I think if we look at numbers. So, yeah, there's a lot of involvement. Fall sports is always that way, but yeah, We have a lot of kids football, I think we have 20-some, just from Easy Valley.
I think there's like 45 total between the
Yeah.
two schools.
It's good to hear.
So, yeah, it's good to see so many kids actively involved and participating in programs. I think they're taking a good turn as far as participation, and the co-ops really help that.
All right, thank you. Westview, please.
Good evening. So we started school at Westview on August 4th. We currently have 24 students. This week, we're going to graduate our 18th student, which we're very excited about. Just a recap from summer. This summer, we had Mrs. Lowry come from the school district, and she taught music to our students. They really enjoyed that very much, so I'd like to thank her. Also, along with ESY, we have one of our own teachers, Mr. Latore. He had did some artwork with the students, and they actually made murals. Here's one here I could show you, and you'll get a copy of it. I can see it real good, but you're going to get a copy of it in your notes. So he made an education mural. We have a lot of bare walls now, so we're trying to put some life into them, and the kids really enjoyed working with him to create different things. We are starting a school resource room for special ed, and he made a logo for that. We're calling it the Learning Lab. So we're really excited about that. The kids, when they're free, when they have time, they're going to work along with him to develop that. So in addition to that, this year we're offering, currently we offer OSHA certification, ServSafe certification, and then in addition to many micro-credentialing certifications. But we're also going to add CPR. Our PE teacher is certified for that, so we're going to certify all the students in that as well, so that will be something new. We're also going to add a newspaper class, where it's a student newspaper, and we're going to work with the ESY teacher, Ms. Marwick, on that, so I think they'll really enjoy that. We also are offering Smart Futures. You have it here in the district, but we're going to offer it as part of our vocational track on one day a week, Tuesdays. Our reading specialist / transition coordinator, Lisa Evans, will be working with the vocational students to create and work in Smart Futures, trying to create that online transition portfolio so that they can be better prepared for when they are discharged and need to go out on their own. And it'll be an online portfolio that they can take with them. So, and they can look into different careers, work on a resume, have a cover letter, things of that nature. So, and overall, just enhancing our vocational offerings. Thanks to all of you, and Dr. McDivitt made some purchases, the simulators, and additional welders for the students, which they really enjoy. So next year, possibly looking at adding some electives to the schedule. We added vocation to the schedule this year, and then we split our PE and our health 2 days a week each. So really starting to get some great programs there. The kids are really excited about school. They want to come to school. They're excited about it. Trying to do, things that are practical for them that they need to learn. So when they walk out the door, they know what to do, just basic skills type stuff. So thank you for your support.
Thank you. Federal programs, please.
Sure. My first time using this microphone. Interesting. Okay, regarding the federal programs for last year, 2024-2025, the final expenditure reports just opened for those. So those will be working, Aaron and I will be working closely to wrap that up before September here and get those done. I know that it is all spent out. We just have to work on filling out the FERs for those. If you've been following federal programs at all in the news, you know it has been a roller coaster of a ride because in July, when the consolidated application opened, I was very diligent and I filled out the Title I application and the Title II subgrant, the Title IV subgrants, and then it was pulled out from under us, like the rug, and it was removed from our consolidated application, as you know. Those were just reinstated, and we alluded to that with the Title IV supporting our AmeriCorps program. So those are back in, reinstated. The only thing that has not come out yet to be added as a subgrant is the Title I-D. I've been in close contact with our regional coordinator, Patricia Crow, I think is her last name. And she promises to let me know as soon as that opens. We just haven't been able to add that yet. So once that is in, it will be completed and turned in as well. As you know, we have hired our SPO, our additional SPO with our PCCD grant, and he was here today getting to know the lay of the land with Officer Sittler, so that was good. And a little bit more information to come with the auditorium report regarding our PA SMART grant. So we're taking a look at how that's being spent out and how to offset some of the district costs with that money. And lastly, still waiting for the grant award notification regarding that NFL grassroots grant. Just as a reminder, that is the possibility of earning an extra $100,000 to help replace the turf, or not the turf, excuse me, the sod at the football field. So that GAN should come out early September. So hopefully we'll have some good news in a month or so. Any questions for me? Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Dave?
I'll start off with just a update on the budget. There's still an impasse in Harrisburg. It's unclear whether there's still ongoing support for soccer reform at this time. There's a couple issues holding up the budget. That's one of them. Keep in mind that Auditor Tim DeFore, he did his audit report this past year and found that there was $600 million in reserves in our soccer schools. They use that money for television ads, gift cards, parties, real estate transfers, and items like that.
And legislators.
Yeah, they're taking our taxpayer money and sending out each. So we continue to advocate with our local legislators and the state legislative committee on that. We do have a team in Harrisburg and continue to work to push soccer reform. According to Susan Spacek, there's 500 different tuition rates in Pennsylvania. In Clarion County alone, North Clarion is paying $26,000 for special education tuition this up and coming school year, and AC Valley will be paying just over $37,000 per special ed student. And that's, hopefully we'll find some reform, and that could be some cost savings and the ability to reinvest that kind of money into our school districts. Depending on the number of students we have out and what that tuition looks like, it could be anywhere from $300,000 to $500,000 worth of savings for AC Valley if we see some kind of cyber tuition, especially the $8,000 base rate. So we continue to work on that. We have a past legislative committee call next Monday, so there might be a little bit of action moving on in Harrisburg. So I'll keep you posted. Moving on to today, we did have a wonderful opening in service day. We had a McKinney-Vento training. We had a diabetes training. We had Narcan training. We also had Act 55 training. We did our annual staff photo. And again, I can't say enough about Logan and the band as well. They were truly amazing out there. We had substitute teachers in. We did a orientation with them. We provided them with safety updates and expectations. The secretaries came down to talk to them about filling in for teachers, and it went very well. And again, I'd like to close just by sending a big welcome back to all the students, staff, and our community. We're ready to get up and running on Wednesday.
Can we as a board or as a district send a letter to the legislators and voice our disapproval of the fact that they are on break and they don't even have a budget passed?
Yep, I'll take the lead on that.
I mean, we have to have our budget in on time. I would expect them to have their budget in on time and not take a vacation.
Consideration to approve school wellness day program proposal for the Flores Group, the amount of $5,000. So moved.
Second.
Okay, we talked about discussion on this. Do we want to hold on that until we get a budget?
Yeah, I think that would be the recommendation. I mean, it is, you know, if you follow the research, it could help cut down on healthcare costs, but that could be down the road. This $5,000 could be really important for paying our bills at this time. So we can revisit that at a later date.
David, can you remind me, what does this program provide for the staff?
It's 2 half-days, one on October 3rd and one in December, December and January. And just a wellness smorgasbord of activities and health and well-being promotion. You know, there are various different aspects to the programming. You know, there could be a booth set up for massage therapy, chiropractic care, nutritional wellness, and various activities like that.
Okay. And is there a deadline that we have to pay this bill then to be able to?
No, not necessarily. It's just the program can get picked up by other schools, and there could be conflicts. We'd have to maybe get creative in the spring of the year if we hold off on it.
Okay. So are we talking about tabling this then tonight?
That's up to you guys, what do you think? I mean, if we could at least table it, I would think till maybe October.
Yeah, we can revisit.
And hopefully that would give us time for them, because you said December is the first one, or
Yeah,
November?
yeah. December.
So would that be time that we could still schedule for December and January once we have a budget?
Possibly, I'll check to make
Yeah,
sure.
if we have a
that
budget, I say just do it next month,
they're- Okay.
and whatever we get.
It's up to you folks, what do you want to table it?
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to amend your motion?
Yeah, motion to table, consideration to approve school wellness day in Forest Group, the amount of $5,000. So moved.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
We don't have a student board rep. We had one last year, we nice to have one. If we get some of the stuff up, I know it's
I got a couple of names I can check out.
good, tell them we're not as scary as we seem. We do not have a school police report, special education report.
Good evening. I know Dr. Jordan talked to you a little bit about the remote learning, so I wanted to give you some guidance and some education for our IEP students and what we've been working with. I've been working with the elementary as well as Dr. Jordan on what we'll need to do for our students with IEPs for your remote learning days. So those students will all need a revision done to their IEPs. Talked to our case managers a little bit today, but what we will do is we will get a draft copy of what the lesson plan looks like and then take it and revise it in their IEP. So a little bit of work on our end, but to make sure that every student is still receiving all the accommodations and modifications per those plans. One of the questions was on like our any type of related services, so like their OT, PT, speech, language, those things will have to be compensated and then tracked so that we can receive those when they return to school. We're also still working with guidance on our students with life skills and how we would provide services to them. Questions on that? And then we've got some news at WSTU. We are going to be on our cyclical monitoring phase. It has started, so that's our audit. Although it's a little bit scary to get the email, it's a good timing for us as a new program, as a new director there, so that we can continue to move forward on things. So we've started that process and needing to communicate that to teachers, students, as parents as much as we can for surveys. I think that would be our biggest barrier. We are supposed to send out parent surveys. Unfortunately, sometimes the students at WSU, we don't have a lot of communication with parents back. So, but looking forward to getting some results and improving there, especially in our compliance. And then I put in front of you, I know I mentioned it a couple weeks ago with that connections with Coal Flyer. I did put that in front of you. Anything you do to get the word out on that, we have our actual topics and our dates. Our first one is September 25th on that to get our family engagement series for special education with the culminating activity on the end there on April 30th. And I believe Kristen's working with me as well so we can put together kind of a big event. So we're going to send out a save the date pretty early, but mark that in your calendars as well, so April 30th. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all.
Okay, we're going to move on to policy. Jeff, will you do policy?
Can I lump any of these together?
A through C.
A through C. Consideration to approve the second reading of policy 626, 626.1, and 827. So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries.
D, consideration to approve first reading of policy number 249, bullying, cyberbullying as attached. So moved.
Second.
Moved and second. Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. All right, do we have a maintenance report?
We do. Good evening, everyone. Pretty straightforward report also. But, at the high school, we did do a little bit of work on the chillers for the library, just some maintenance on that to get them up to speed. The elementary, we did do a couple of sidewalk repairs out back here in the teacher entrance, just to get that through for the winter. We did that in-house. And district-wide, I just wanted to touch on our water samples. We got the results back from that. Everything tested good. And that was passed over to Aaron to get on the website. Fire alarm testing in both buildings. Everything is complete with that. far as the field, my only concern with doing the seeding is supplying the water from the water company. I kind of told Amos that we should probably look into having a contractor supply the water to get that initially to grow. I don't know if you can put that in that packet, so I've reached out to the water company again and spoke with, I believe her name is Betsy, and just to get the okay that we can get water from them, because it's going to vary obviously on the weather. Whenever we do go to water it, we're going to need a pretty significant amount of gallons to water that. So that's one of my concern with that project moving forward. Hopefully they'll give us the okay and we'll kind of just meter that water and get that all set up with irrigation. Hopefully we'll get some rain here. That's my report.
Jay, another question. The water hydrant, that's still a go?
For the irrigation or?
For up here at the field, were we gonna like,
Well, there's this hydrant out back here.
no, I meant for, I thought we would be approved of, maybe I'm crazy. The sprinkler system or something?
Yes, I did reach out to that sales rep last week. Probably gonna take about a week to a week and a half. I'm gonna get that kind of under motion, get that ordered. And I talked with his experts on figuring out how many gallons we're gonna need. So that's why I wanted to relay that to the water company and see if they're gonna be able to supply that. You know, initially I was hoping to have this project in the summertime, out of school, where our water usage is lower. And then, you know, once we're gonna be increasing that to water the field, it'll kind of balance out. But that's not the case now, so moving forward, we'll see what we can do.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll move on to transportation. Brady, could you do that for us?
Letter A, consideration to approve adding a new contract with Sugar Contract Services Incorporated for extracurricular activities, so moved.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries.
Consideration to approve adding Luann Leon, Marshall McElbray, and Barb Smith upon receipt of all documentation as drivers for Sugar Contract Incorporated, so moved.
Second.
Any discussion on that? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries.
I'm going to lump C, D, and E together. Consideration to approve adding the 2020 72 passenger bus, 2022 72 passenger bus, and 2020 72 passenger bus as listed, so moved.
Second.
Seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Okay, Diane, will you walk us through miscellaneous?
Sure. Do we have a career center report?
Not able to attend the last.
I was there. We had a kind of an emergency meeting in July because I think we had to fill 6 positions and we needed to vote on those. So we did that. We don't usually meet in July.
Oh, okay.
But all positions are filled.
Thank you. How about an intermediate unit report?
We do not meet in July.
Any correspondence?
We just had the real estate tax audit is in front of you. There's no findings or significant challenges that we have.
Look at this. Okay. No tech committee meeting.
How about an athletic committee? I don't think so. Finance committee,
Good with that.
football field committee,
I've just been providing updates to the football field committee, but we've informed them that.
auditorium committee.
Sure. We had a mini virtual meeting on August 14th. Dr. McDivitt was there, myself, Nathan Field from Invention Land. Amos was there, his electrician was there. Main topics was just kind of to figure out how the PA grant fit into the auditorium renovation. Amos is planning on sending out the auditorium bids to the newspaper this week. And we decided that Nathan was going to send over a bill, which he has done, so that we can start some of the design process on the lobby outside of the auditorium. And he's going to be designing some ideas for us that pertain to like mobile labs, our podcasting booth, and things like that for us to review. Some of the items that are going to be offset because of the PA Smart Grant. We talked about the huge screen that's going to be on our stage and also the green screen. So the screen, the projector, and the green screen. And they are of pretty substantial size. They're like the really big ones that will cover the entire stage, and they'll drop down. So those are written into the narrative and in the budget summary for the PA Smart Grant to offset that for the district. That was really, anything else, Dr. McDivitt, that you wanted to add to that?
No, that was-
Okay. Any questions for me or us?
What's the time frame on starting?
We're not exactly sure. Once we get those bids back in, we'll have a better idea. We'll report back out.
This school year? though?
Yeah, it'll be in the fall, we know. It'd be great if we had it done for all the Christmas events and everything. I don't know if that's wishful thinking or not. I'm gonna be pushing for it.
That's all I have.
Okay, is there any old business? Any new business? All right, we are going to adjourn to an executive session to discuss contract issues. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Dr. Pedro.